YouTube online courses, are they real or just one big scam? Well, this YouTube channel did a fantastic job in summarizing all the possible online courses out there that most YouTube channels sells. It is almost a 20-minute video and he touched on a lot of different type of courses. But there is one particular course he highlighted that got my full attention, which are courses on how to be a YouTube content creator. He actually did a great job with that video, from the storytelling to editing to the information he provided. So be sure to watch his video because you will learn a lot from him. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But now I want to go through with you some of the parts of his video that I think is worth talking about. And we're gonna start this off with Filmboo.
Filmboo, a channel with 300,000 subscribers, has a couple courses on their site. For starters, they have an $800 course on how to make better thumbnails. This creates an interesting dynamic, because for this course to have any value whatsoever, they must not have already shared this knowledge publicly on their channel. But then that means that the videos they have dedicated to thumbnails must not be the best advice they can give, because for that, you have to pay $800.
Kinda agree with him on this one. Charging $800 on learning how to create thumbnails sounds absurd. And it doesn't help when most of his videos are talking about how to create good thumbnails as well. It does make me think that each YouTube video he launched is incomplete, that he is holding back information because he wants to upsell you his premium service. Now, to be honest, I did sign up to his thumbnail workshop about 2 years ago. Back then, he just started, so I paid only about $50 or so. It is probably not the same quality as the one he has now, but I'll tell you what I learned in that one. I learned about what fonts to use in my thumbnail and how to make my thumbnails stick out. That's it. And to be perfectly honest with you, making a thumbnail pop is very subjective and only Filmboo knows what to do once he sees your current thumbnail. There's no template for this. So in order to improve my thumbnail, I need to sign up for his one-on-one consultation. I think you get the idea here. But is this a scam though? I personally don't think Filmboo is doing anything wrong, and I'll explain at the end of this video. For now, let's move on to the next one. Think Media.
Think Media has a free course they live stream once a week. In the course, the host Sean Cannell spends 40 minutes giving you a basic background, spends a few minutes teasing this 7R formula, tells you that subscribers don't matter anymore, it's all about the views, and then ironically shares some success stories about creators that have blown up in subscribers but don't get many views. And then he pivots this course into selling Video Ranking Academy, their $4,000 course that for a limited time you can get for 12 payments of $97.
Okay, this one is quite funny. The way he said the course is $4,000 and it is only $97 today is just taking a page from the old sales playbook. This is Sales Tactic 101 and it has been used thousands of times for the last decades, simply because it works so well. Hey, I fell for this many years ago and all I'm going to say is, you get what you paid for.
They have this limited time deal every week, and if you buy this course, you can get access to their 7R formula. The same 7R formula that they posted publicly on their channel 5 months ago. But Sean assures you that this course is 20 to 50 times worth the asking price, guarantees you'll make the money back, and insinuates that it's a better investment than going to college.
Well, I don't know about the college part. I can't imagine Sean from Think Media actually saying that. But it doesn't deny the fact that Sean is quite a salesman. The slide he shows on his screen is, again, a template that is used thousands of times for decades. And again, he falls into the same issue as Filmboo, where whatever he is trying to sell is actually available on his YouTube channel as well. So it becomes very hard for him to justify to his viewers why the course is worth it. It does make it look like Sean is not being transparent here.
The entire course pushes this ideology of making videos on sellable products, utilizing affiliate marketing, and out of the little advice it does give, it's entirely surface level and at times outdated. Sean goes into depth talking about the need for harvesting an email list, tells you to search YouTube to find video ideas, gives spammy promotional tactics, and constantly rehashes the need for affiliate marketing and sponsorships. This isn't a course on how to become a YouTuber, or even how to market your videos. This is how to become a salesman for Amazon products. Video Ranking Academy essentially just wants to turn you into another product review channel that churns out videos daily and hopes that one does well. It's absolutely not what I was looking for.
Okay, I think that was a little unfair to Think Media, but at least he admitted that learning how to make money on Amazon is not right for him. Essentially, what he is saying is Sean's course is just about how to make money using Amazon affiliate links and not on YouTube. I kinda see Think Media's point of view on this one. Like, they're just sharing how they made money by using YouTube as a platform. I don't see anything wrong with that. They're still delivering to their customers on what they promise, which is making money on YouTube, albeit a different method than we usually know. Can we safely say this is a scam? I don't know, but if you're new here, do consider giving this video a like and subscribe. That will help this video reach out to more people so that they can learn from this as well. Anyways, that's it for Think Media, and now the biggest one, Ali Abdal.
Part-time YouTuber Academy. Ali is a YouTuber that has basically popularized what I like to call the productivity cult. Almost every channel you see centered around productivity is influenced directly by Ali. From the topic, style, thumbnails, and constant Notion references, it's clear he's carved this genre out almost single-handedly. Productivity in itself is a very toxic subgenre on the YouTube circuit. It's essentially nerdified and systematized the hustle culture that people like Andrew Tate promote. Ali himself has produced videos and courses on how to sleep productively, how to cook productively, how to watch TV productively.
I wouldn't call it a cult. I think that's a little too far. And I don't think Ali creates that many random courses. That's actually Meet Kevin. I do agree though that this whole productivity thing can get quite subjective. Like for example, I work 9 to 5, then I work on my YouTube channel after dinner, usually till past midnight. And I even work on it on the weekends if I have time. To me, that's being productive. But to some of you, it sounds like I need to get a life. So I think for this, everyone has their own opinion.
If you can get these 3 things right, then you're completely off to the races and your channel will explode and you'll become a millionaire.
That sounds great. So in the video, he breaks down the 3 things as get going, get good enough, and get smart. He eventually breaks these down into like 15 different things you need to get good at. And as expected, these videos are basically made just to upsell you.
Okay, let's stop here for a second and have a look at his list. Just look at that. Just OMG. I do everything he says on my channel. So I guess I'm on my way to success.
Or $5,000, you can join this course. And to his credit, he does offer what he calls scholarships for a select few that can't afford it. On its homepage, PTYA features a lot of success stories, many of which are also productivity YouTubers. A few others that were already doing pretty well before taking his course, and a few that are doing pretty terrible view-wise because they've grown a fan base from TikTok and then tried to transition over.
Yeah, so the thing about testimonials is you don't know what is real and what isn't. Like, I'm sure they are real, but it is very hard to tell who actually started from scratch with zero online presence. That's actually what I really want from these courses. Can they actually take a nobody and turn them into a somebody?
Nevertheless, I took PTYA and it actually gave me the key to success. It gave me something I have not found in any other courses, and something that I would like to share with you free of charge. So PTYA is broken down into weeks. Week 1 is how to succeed on YouTube, getting gear. Week 2 is defining your niche, etc.
Okay, so again, I think I have seen this list before. If you follow Ali's channel, then I'm pretty sure you have heard him saying this dozens of times. The only thing is they are probably spread out into different videos.
All of the advice given is common sense. This is actually a point Ali makes during his first week. He makes it clear that you should be trying to sell common sense. What you think is common knowledge might not be. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Ali is actually pretty open about how useless his course is to anybody that knows how to use Google.
This is something I really admire about Ali Abdal. The fact that he acknowledges what he teaches is common sense and can be found on the internet shows he is being transparent. I do agree that what is common sense to us doesn't mean it is to those around us. It all depends on our life experience and how much knowledge we gain. I think that's why personal coaches exist as well.
The main themes of PTYA are stay consistent, post at least 1 video a week, look at YouTube as a business, nobody cares about your first 100 videos, make thumbnails pop, focus on background music, which actually is a great point that I rarely see anybody bring up, so kudos to Ali. Focus on values, visuals, and icons. LinkedIn is for corporate slaves, Windows and Android users are the devil, and start a mailing list. That is $2,000 worth of information, but you're forgetting that when you pay this fee, you're also getting access to the Pointless Group think tank, and of course the golden ticket referral program that you can utilize by joining the legions of other members posting PTYA review videos, almost all of which have been extremely unsuccessful, but nevertheless they still recommend this course.
That's a pretty good point. One thing I noticed about Ali's courses is he always tells his students to do a video on what they learned from his online course. In other words, telling them to leverage on his name. which is smart because that can get them tons of views. So for example, this channel here, he used Ali's name and got more than 100,000 views. Here's the thing, will doing it that way keep the momentum going? Well, judging from the next video he created, it certainly doesn't look like it. But is Ali wrong for doing that? Well, the thing about courses like this is they know how to get you views, and that's all they need to do to fulfill their promise. Is that method a sustainable method? Probably not, but if you want a sustainable method, get ready to pay another $10,000. That is starting to sound like a scam, doesn't it?
Now, what is the key to success that I found? After my 5th hour of mindlessly listening to Ali drone on about Notion at 3.5 times speed, I realized that the key to success isn't success. It isn't becoming a YouTuber or affiliate marketing. No, the key to success is becoming a creator of courses. You see, Ali made $4.6 million in 2022. Do you want to guess how much of that was made purely off the courses he produces? Did you guess half? $2,716,395, or 59% of all of his income.
That's a lot of money, and I think it would be crazy if he did not quit his job as a medical doctor and pursue this. 59% of his income from courses is a lot, which kind of tells me that we should not rely on YouTube revenue and instead focus on how we can leverage on YouTube to diversify. So those are the 3 YouTube channels he covered that I find interesting. At the end of his video, he did not really say if he thinks it is a cult or a scam or not. He kind of left it open-ended. But now I want to give you my opinion on his point of view. I can see where he is coming from, but I can also see where the YouTube course sellers are coming from. To explain this in its simplest form, the guy who is doing the review just isn't the right target audience for YouTube courses. The way I see it, there are 3 groups of audience. The first one is watchers. They're the ones who just watch videos after videos, thinking about starting a YouTube channel but never do. The second one is doers, which is where this guy sits in. They are the ones who are trying to get results and answers. The thing about doers is they are smart, but they also use up a lot of their own time finding and researching solutions. They are the ones who know there is an answer to everything. All they need to do is spend time looking for it. The third one is enthusiasts. They are the ones who just want the results as soon as possible, even if it means spending money. These people treasure their time over money, and they think that the money they put into these courses is an investment that will return in the future. Don't be confused by making quick money though. They are not the same as the ones who want the easy way out. So from here, the group that tend to say online courses are scams are usually the doers, because they know whatever the course teaches can be found for free on the internet. Does that mean the enthusiasts are easy targets? Not exactly. In fact, they are mostly business-minded and they just think differently. They are more focused on wanting a result and they want to get that result as fast as they can. So you won't see these people researching on YouTube, watching videos after videos. They would rather pay the creator a sum of money to have them do the research and curate all these videos so that they get exactly the information they need without wasting time on unnecessary information. And when course creators know this, they can charge an absurd amount, provided they can deliver the value. So speaking of money, why are course creators charging so much? Well, in my opinion, this is to filter out the ones who are serious and the ones who are not. Everyone's time is precious, am I right? And the same applies to course creators as well. Their time is limited and they would rather focus on helping those who are serious than those who are not. Take my course for example. I dare say that my course's content is about the same as the ones you see out there. I charge between $9 to $49. I let Udemy's AI decide the price because I'm just starting out. The thing about my course is any student of mine also has access to me, where I personally do review and feedback on their videos, because I think that's how I can help channels grow. But I can frankly tell you that nobody took up on that offer, even after I send them a message letting them know that this is a free service I offer. They wouldn't respond. What I'm trying to get here is, sometimes for these courses, making it cheap or free may give the impression that this isn't so important to the buyer. If I'm a coach and I'm giving my 100%, I expect my customer to give their 100% as well. Otherwise, I'll shift my focus and time to someone who is serious. So I think raising the price to an absurd amount narrows this down. However, that's not to say there are no scammers. there are course creators out there who use this to their advantage and scam those who are desperate. How to identify scams? That's really up to your wits and wisdom and experience. Usually, when it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, so you will need to do your own homework. But I do want to point out that we shouldn't just believe a course is a scam just because someone said so. Let me tell you a short but true story. About 10 years ago, I joined an e-commerce course that promised me that I will be able to start my own e-commerce website and start making money by the end of the 4 days course. However, in the course, what they taught me was how to start a basic blogging website, which I already know. And also the most important point of all is that I have to blog about my niche every single day. Each daily blog post needs to be about 1,000 words and has all the keywords I research. Obviously, I didn't do that, but I know someone who did it diligently, and you know what? He is a multi-millionaire today. He runs his own company with over 20 employees, and he is coaching his clients on how to do this as well. So, question for you. How do you think I should feel? If I were to be sour and try to hide my own lack of action, then I'll tell people around me that it is a scam and it doesn't work. Or I can accept the fact that to be successful is really, as Ali Abdal said, to use common sense and execute them through hard work. In other words, just admit that I did not take any action. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.